Welcome to the session that will demonstrate how to do the writing part before you record your information in Audacity. So go ahead and get to the visual literacy site, and if you haven't already done so, you're going to go to the quilt session. Scroll down and you're going to want to download Creature Write-Up. Now if you want to grab this and revise it for something specific for your class, please feel free to do so. In the meantime, the example is going to be for animals. I will go ahead and click on the download option. I will go ahead and open that, and once it's open, I definitely want to save it immediately. It's just a good habit. That way it's easier to find. So I'll go ahead and do File, Save As. I will then locate that folder that I created for this unit, and the name is fine, Creature Write-Up. I will click Save. So this is the write-up that you would give your students. Now in this example, I'm only going to start with 2 animals per person. I'm going to have the students contribute all their information into a group folder where the kids can use other students' information for their final product. The first example has been done. It's on the Mexican axolotl, and what I did is I went ahead and got where it lives. As you can see underneath, it says habitat, and then they replace it with 4 interesting facts. They're always welcome to add more information. It's up to you how you set this up. So for example, if you wanted to revise this for a science unit, you could do that. But the example that I gave on the Mexican axolotl is I said where it was found. I talked about its ability to regenerate body parts, what it eats. Notice I did not put it in complete sentences. I listed what it eats, and I also came down here and put down predatory birds, large fish, and heron. And in that example, it's going to be the animals that actually prey on the Mexican axolotl. And then I mentioned why it's endangered. After I wrote down those little facts, I then turned it into complete sentences. So what you're going to have your students do in this example is you would hold down the Control key and click on National Geographic to get the information. They would then locate the animal that they picked to get their information. Now, if you have books you want your students to use, that's great. It's up to you where you have your students get your information. I like to use National Geographic because I know they're going to be getting good information. I will go ahead and demonstrate how the students should gather the information. I do a unit on posters, and they are not allowed to write complete sentences. This prevents plagiarism, and it also will help them with their writing. I'm going to write down the habitat, so I'll go ahead and get that information. And here it says it lives in the Amazon. We got murky streams and ponds of the Amazon, and of course we don't want them to write incomplete sentences, so I'll go back and put a few key words. Here is an example of what I did for habitat. I typed in murky streams and ponds, Amazon, South America. Then the student has to give enough information so that when they return to rewrite, they will have enough details. Otherwise, they will have to revisit the website for the information. I have seen students make serious mistakes by not writing enough detail, and then they put misinformation. Now I'm going to go find some interesting facts about the eel. Do make sure that they type in the name of the animal they are doing. While reading, I find it interesting that they could reach the size of 8 feet, and they can get as heavy as 44 pounds. So if that's the information you want to record, you would come here and replace interesting fact by selecting it and putting 8 feet. You might put 6 to 8 feet. And hopefully that's enough information for the student to come back and say they can reach a size of 6 to 8 feet. Then of course for the weight you would put 44 pounds. I notice when students do LBS, they leave that. My preference is that they spell it out and get out of that habit. That's just me. It's up to you what you want to do with this writing process. Here's something else that I find very interesting. The shock of an electric eel has been known to knock a horse off its feet. So then you would have the students come back and put down enough clues to where it's not a complete sentence, and then they could do the write-up later. Returning to the Word document, I did write shock, eel, knock, horse off feet. And then I will demonstrate how to turn these into complete sentences. I found some more interesting information about the shock of an electric eel. It does say that there have been rare cases where humans have died from the shock from an electric eel. It also says that multiple shocks can cause respiratory or heart failure, and people have been known to drown in shallow water after a stunning jolt. So I'll go ahead and take that information and put it on my document. I went ahead and temporarily pasted the facts on my page, and then I'm going to come down here under the 5 facts and just jot down some brief facts. So I will put human deaths rare and then hit the enter key to add another fact. You don't need to be restricted to those 5 facts. I went ahead and added an additional fact, so I have 7 interesting facts. I will make sure that I go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to go ahead now and turn these facts into complete sentences. I will be back with my final results. So I finally completed all of the sentences, and this is what I came up with. Electric eels can be found in the murky streams and ponds of the Amazon River in South America. They can reach 6 to 8 feet in length. They can also reach a weight of 44 pounds. Eels, known for their ability to shock predators or prey, can emit shock strong enough to knock a horse off its feet. Though human deaths are rare from the shock of an eel, multiple shocks can lead to respiratory or heart failure. There have been cases where people have drowned in water or they've been jolted by an eel. So this concludes the session on how to take facts and turn them into complete sentences. We are now ready to record this fabulous information using Audacity, a free sound editing program. Until next time, you have a wonderful day.